I think that's it. I think we're recording. Let's get this party started. Sorry, tell
Well,
me, am I getting there started?
so we apparently I had checked with RPC and regionals both to see if they wanted to present, and then I forgot to tell regionals. No, you didn't need to prep anything for this one. So we've got both regionals and RPC because regionals are overachievers who don't need me to explicitly tell them to do things, which I love.
Look, it's a double feature. We're gonna be great. Like, we're so excited.
I love having self starters. But I think we're going to start with RPC, if you want to kick that off for the promotional committee, Jen.
Absolutely. Let me just get this window to a slideshow, and then let me get over here and screen share. All right. Hello, everyone. First off, thank you for sharing your lovely Wednesday evening with us. For those who don't know, I'm Jen. I'm the new RPC chair, and we'll get into that in a second. But we're here today to talk about what RPC or Refuge Promotions Committee is, the function we sort of serve in the chapter, what sort of direction we'll be going in the future, and just introduce the team and everything we're doing. It's going to be a great time. Because I'm sharing and I only have one monitor, I cannot see questions in chat. So I've designated a few people to collect up any questions so that when we get to the end, we can talk about them. If for any reason that process yours gets missed, just flag it again and we'll talk about it then. But for now, we want to go ahead and get things kicked off. So first off, whoop.
Can I go I can't see the PowerPoint, so we'll display the we'll see if we can collect the PowerPoint and share it out with the recording.
Okay, it's showing as streaming for me. I'm currently looking at
gogs.
Okay, chat, can anyone in there confirm if you do or do not see the slideshow? Okay, Hallie can see it.
Historically, I cannot.
Handle cannot. Okay.
So
Hallie can see it. Let me try stop sharing and then trying sharing one more time and see if maybe it was like okay, share screen, RPC slides. Anything? Okay, I redid it again. Any? Okay.
It's only me, but
I'm getting a little.
There we go. We'll check out the.
Okay, you know what? Thank you, Corin, for a great last-minute fix. You'll see the slides as they come up in chat, and I'll leave the slide deck somewhere after this as well. Fantastic. So I'll go ahead and get the show on the road. First things first, huge thank you to Kat, the previous promotions committee chair that has left me large shoes to fill. Kat still has many other responsibilities in Refuge and continues to put endless hours of work into making our organization better and able to make more fun LARPs and do greater things. And it just didn't feel right to get to talk about this lovely committee and what she's made it into without acknowledging all of her work. So thank you so much. Go take a nap, girl. I don't know how much nap time you have with the other Refuge jobs, but take one. You deserve it. And a little more about me as well. So as mentioned, I'm Jen. I'm the new chair. My home chapters are in Seattle, Portland. My day job, I am a professional game writer. I've been doing that for about a decade now, and have gotten to work on a whole bunch of lovely things. And obviously, that's kind of where falling in love with LARP happened. I've been with Refuge for 2 years. It was my first ever LARP and quickly became an obsession. And people from various games know me as Niobe, who's kind of a disaster Solarian, doing way too much. And it's been fun. But, really the reason I came to Refuge and the reason I wanted to take this chair position was that when I first moved to Washington with my husband for a job, right? Like his whole family was up here, both halves of it, all of his old high school friends, because he's from this area. But I didn't have anyone really. And so for a year, I really did feel really isolated and alone. And, without getting too sappy, like, Refuge made this place a home for me. This community made this place become somewhere I was okay being, to like the place I want to be forever, right? And that's like a lot, and that meant a lot. And so to have the opportunity to give back to this community that's already given me so much is a humble honor, and I hope to carry it well. So for tonight, we're just going to talk a little bit about who we are as a committee and our vision going forward. I want you all to meet this amazing team we've put together. I'm so proud of it. We have some really stunning talent in this community, and really excited that they have joined up with us. We're going to give you a rough timeline of what we want to do now that the Avengers have assembled, so to speak. And we're gonna tell you what we expect from you, because you have homework now. That's right. You got to do things too. Come on, we're gonna have a great time. Um, so in short, Refuge Promotions Committee is dedicated to bringing new players into our community and then promoting information to our existing players, and sort of the relationship between our new players and bringing those in, as well as maintaining the excitement and drive of existing players. Um, and we could also be referred to as Refuge Peppy Cheerleaders, or the really powerful charisma stat of Refuge. We we have some fun. But really, like, we are a bunch of people who are united with some pretty strong core philosophies that, oftentimes there can be a dichotomy in conversation between serving new players or existing players. And I personally believe that you have to serve both in order to serve both, right? That, like, by bringing in new players, we enrich the experience of existing players by bringing in fresh perspectives and ideas and stories, right? And that when we support existing players, they are able to bring in more new players to continue this cycle, right? That we are, in essence, essential to each other, not the opposite of each other. And so therefore, we both have to be making efforts as a committee to pull in new people and support our existing players at the same time. We can't do one or the other without each other, right? We are also a committee driven by sustainable volunteer culture. I think anybody here who has volunteered in any kind of organization will tell you that a lot of the volunteers end up overextending and burning out, and then replaced by somebody else who overextends and burns out. And I've done that professionally, like in my day job for a decade, and I'm kind of over it. And I also don't think it makes for very good volunteers or a very sustainable volunteer culture in an organization. So something I advocate for in my own committee and with other committees is knowing your limits, radical honesty and transparency around what is capable of getting done. But most importantly, once you do commit to something, like keeping that consistent communication and that commitment to create something that is transparent and accountable, but also that people know when you say something, they know it's going to get done, right? And so that's sort of, something that I deeply believe and bring to this team, and everyone on the team with me is also very much, with me there. And we also work hard, and we also work hard and believe that, like, sharing player joy creates more player joy. That, like, so much of our job is just look at these awesome things. Look at this amazing community member and everything they're doing. Look at this amazing game that just happened. By, showing why we do this all the time, it reminds people, of why we're here and why we love this hobby, and helps people, feel better about investing even more time in it. So with that said, I am so happy to introduce my team. They hopefully are all in chat and can give little waves in there. And I'm also very proud to say that because of people with split chapters and such things, we actually have every single chapter in Refuge represented on this committee. So quite literally, if you are from a chapter, any chapter at all, you have someone you can talk to about promotions things, and I dearly hope that you do that. So we have Asher, him from San Francisco, who has a degree in game design and concept art, is super talented, refers to himself as a creative weirdo living in the California Redwoods, but has tons of talent when using social media management and working several accounts at once. Super creative, makes memes. Says, show me some memes. They're good memes. I'm excited to show you some memes. And so we're really grateful to have him on board. We got Ryan from Edmonton, who's been LARPing for 15 years and brings a whole wealth of experience with that to Refuge. He's only been with Refuge for a couple of those years, but is already making a stellar impact. Is really passionate about making our games as easy to start playing as possible, as accessible as possible, and has been working on a homebrew world for D&D for like 25 years. Like there are people who exist who have made children in that time. That's so crazy to me, and I think it's amazing, and brings a lot of amazing content skills. Kendall from SLC Boise, her is also fantastic. Over 10 years of digital marketing experience. So kind of literally what we're doing. Could not literally be a better fit for the org and for this committee's needs. And has so many ideas and so much gumption and is going to kick so much butt. Also a huge Lord of the Rings nerd, which I imagine there's a few of you in here, so you guys can have fun debating the nuances of the Silmarillion. We got Sarissa, her from SLC, who is already serving us in RTC and as a Discord mod, is a UX UI designer, and really a natural fit for us and our continued efforts into, collaborating with the Discord and, making the Discord itself a part of this sort of promotions committee experience. And we're really excited to pursue that, and has been volunteering at Ren Fairs for like 17 years and getting to hang out with falcons. Danger birds are really cool. We have Chris from Edmonton, Calgary as well. A huge advocate for accessibility in our organization. For those who don't know, he talks about it frequently. Does not have a left hand and has, gone to conventions and helped other people who, have accessibility needs to see how they can play this game and how they also there's room for them here. Very cool character as well. That is, I love that kit so much. And has been with RPC from its beginning, and we are really excited to have that and that wealth of experience and history with the org to buoy and support us. Also here from the beginning, we have Sam. Some of you may have known Sam as Derek, but now is definitely Sam. And he is also in the Canadian chapters, a master's in media art and tech, and likes to do all sorts of things, writing songs and drawings. His familiarity with audio and visual editing is going to let us do even cooler stuff than we really got to do before, and I'm very excited to see all of it. So, that's the team. That's our Avengers. We're so cool. So what are we doing? I fully believe that, we have stuff that's still obviously cooking for a while. But in the effort of transparency and accountability, and that some of these things are going to take a long time to build up to, I want you to know what we're working on so that when only one or two things start coming out, it's not like, oh, we're only doing these two things. It's like, no. We got stuff. So to start with, in our short term, we are reviving our social media content. This is my priority one. We've been kind of quiet on all of our accounts for a while now and haven't kept up with all of the new platforms that now exist for social media content. And that's, as much as I love Discord, and I do, believe me, I spend way too much time on it. The problem with Discord is that there's no discoverability. Everyone who comes to Discord has to get an invite code. It's all word of mouth. And that, that means that we don't have as many people coming to our community from the outside that just happened upon us in the wild. So we're going to be fixing that. We're hoping to make a large bank of content so that we have a steady stream of it that's set for a good long while and that we can keep adding into. And if for some reason most of us get hit by a bus, we still have everything we need to continue delivering that content and fulfilling that promise that we are making. And you can actually help with that. So at this point, someone should be linking in chat. There are a couple forms that you can fill out, one of which is submitting content to RPC directly. What content? It could be photos from an event. It could be, a, work in progress of from making a suit of armor from beginning to end. There's going to be a slide later on the deck that goes into more detail about that, but the basics is that if you have stuff that shows off how amazing our game is and how awesome our community is, send it to us through that form, and we will use it to promote our game and our community all over the country and Canada. Well, both countries, all over the continent. There, we got there. So the next month is just going to be building up that content bank and getting us in a stable place, so that we have, our use an emergency, bank situation. And we're targeting mid to late June for all of our socials going back to being live and posting regularly and engaging regularly. And yeah, we're super excited about that. I think it's going to do a lot of great things for us. We're also going to be changing how we share updates and news. So starting in June, we are going to have, and guidelines for all of this will be coming out shortly. So if you have a million questions about what counts as a newsletter or an announcement, we'll get to that. But basically, things that don't need to be announced in the announcement channel will go in a fortnightly newsletter. So a newsletter that comes out once every 2 weeks. Along with some other fun goodies, and you can have that sent directly to your email. We have the other form that should have been linked as well when the first link came out in chat, is a form to just give us your email, and you will get these newsletters in your email box. So if you are not a big Discord fan but still want to know what's going on, you'll get everything that people on Discord do. So, give us that information. We'll update it. It'll be great. And as I said, we're going to adjust our announcement structure. All of this is an effort of we want to, I know that notification fatigue and ping exhaustion is a very real thing in Discord communities and maintaining those. We want you to be excited to be updated every time. We want to make sure that you're not oh God, not another ping. What do we they have so many updates, which that's a good problem to have. But we want you all to be excited about them, and we want you to have clear expectations about when you'll get what news in which places, so that you always know where to go when you need to know something. Also in the short term, and I'm so proud of this, we're in a fucking museum, y'all. Not just any, we're in a nationally recognized museum. So for the last 6 months, before I was even tapped to be a part of promotions, I was consulting with the American Writers Museum on their upcoming exhibit Level Up, which focuses on game writing in specific. And on that committee, I had the privilege of advocating for LARP to be included, since they were covering both video games and tabletop. And they went with it, and there have been a lot of very big discussions with the president at the time. Huge thank you and shout out to Refuge Portland in particular, who took time out of their season closer to run a mod that was filmed and is going to be playing on loop in this museum, with an example of what a mod sheet looks like, so that people can see the conversation between the game writing of LARP and the way it plays out in person. And huge thanks to, there's so many people who helped make this happen, and it just means so much to me to get to put this little piece of my significant game history into a place that's going to be curated, right? And thanks to all of you for making this community so awesome, and and letting this happen. So if nothing else, there is a museum we will be in and credited in, and people will know, hey, you're seeing here, this is Refuge, right? And we're really hopeful that that will also draw in some new people and new curiosity around our game. Whew, okay, need a second. Sorry, I'm really excited. Also, if you didn't see on that previous slide, it has the dates for opening, which is later this month. And if you happen to be in Chicago between the end of this month and, the same time next year, go check it out. It's super cool. Oh, okay, so medium term. So this is stuff that is not going to come out immediately, but we're going to be putting conscious effort and work into starting now, and will probably happen between fall to the end of the year. We're putting together a convention/event guide for promoting your chapter. I personally have found I've brought about 8 or 9 different brand new people to LARP to a first game, mostly in Seattle. And I've found that the people I've convinced to actually give it a chance, as opposed to people I have tempted but haven't taken the bait, they've always been in person. I've always had a personal connection with that person face to face. And that is, I really think, what clinched it. And so I know that for chapter owners, conventions and festivals and events, keeping up with what's local to you and what it costs to booth and what you need, that's such a huge headache on top of owning a chapter. And we don't want all of you to miss out on these amazing opportunities to grow our community. We also don't want to give you too much work, right? This is something that you're already putting in all this work. So how can we lower that barrier for you? How can we make it easier? So we have some really passionate people on this team who have pre-existing relationships with conventions, who've done this before, who know what makes it effective. And, they're going to put together a killer guide for all the things you'll need to do a good booth. We'll have a pamphlet you can just print off and have ready to go. We'll have all the big talking points and recommendations. I'm hoping in that we'll also have hey, you're in Calgary. Here's all nearby events in Calgary to our knowledge that you might want to check out. And that way, all you literally got to do is look through this guide, look at your portion of the list, and do minimum effort to talk to brand new people and bring them in. Oof. And also in that sort of not distant but distant-ish future, we want to sort of unify and clarify the Refuge brand and make a brand style guide. So right now there's a lot of different Discords, and if I look over to their channel heads right now, their icons, they're all very different. There are different shades of green, there's different iconography, and there's nothing necessarily wrong about that. But when we present a more polished, professional front, there's a sense of trust that instills in new players and in new consumers that are interested in trying us out. That by having that level of consistency of what our logos look like, what fonts and typefaces, what sort of, that kind of thing, by unifying our brand in a way that, communicates that consistency and that comfort to both new and existing people. It's gonna just do this extra layer of help that's harder to quantify, but definitely makes a difference. And in the long term, I'm so excited about this. We're going to have a podcast. We're going to have regular, engaging, diverse YouTube content. We have a couple people on this team that have been advocating for this for a long time, and I'm so thrilled to basically give them the reins to go. Right now we are working with a production schedule and looking at what can be made on what timelines. The plan with this, just like our social medias, is to build a bank and then figure out what schedule we can consistently post to so that the bank is always being filled and we always have, content in the back so that, as per earlier, if bus happens, we can still fulfill the promise we made in terms of content and our schedule. And there's 4 other things that we're hoping to do that I just don't want to announce yet because I feel like it's too early and the team needs more time to cook with it. But this is, the rough schedule. This is kind of where we're sitting. And the point of staggering these things is so that for the next 3 months, we just get the newsletters and socials, under our belt and feeling good and consistent, and that we have that handle for sustainable volunteering. And then we'll add the other things now that that's set and stable and in maintenance mode, right? And then once those are set and good, we add this other thing. Like we're taking a restrained approach to a couple things at a time max, and making sure that if it's something that needs continual effort, that is in a solid flow, and we know quantifiably how much that's going to take of us before we go to the next thing. As always, life can happen, and if it does and any of this changes, the next time I get a chance to present, or if I have any updates on moderating expectations on certain things being delayed, etc., you will know about that. And you will know that we will only delay things if we've sort of explored our options, and that's the best thing we can do. This is an organization that thrives on transparency and accountability, and we are absolutely a part of that. And we're glad to be here, gang. We're glad to be doing this, and I'm mostly excited because everyone on my team, on the committee, if something is on this list, it's because when I talked to someone and was like, what's your dream project? Like, what would you want to do if you were on this committee? They got super excited and light in their eyes, like, this is what I want to do, and I will put so much time into this. And because they're that passionate about it, it's going to happen. And that's something that I'm really proud of, and I'm really excited to see in this team. So that's what we're going to do. This is what we want from you now. Because I said there was homework. I wasn't lying. Look, I understand that LARP is, a lot of people who attend these kind of calls already give their time in some way to the organization. I know just interacting with a game can be a lot of time. If you get into the details of writing character journals or doing stuff in between games, I know we all have very little time on our hands. But I think a lot of the things that we are asking from you don't take basically any time at all. And we want to succeed in making this community better, and I hope that you all want us to succeed in making this community better. So here are a couple things that we would just love to have with us as we're doing this. First off, just remember that every single player of this game is itself an ambassador of this game, right? By ensuring that new people, when they come to game, we find out someone's first game is happening, by ensuring that person has a kick-ass first game, you're increasing the chance they're going to come back, and you're increasing the chance they stay and contribute and be a part of the community. And so the easiest thing you can do to help make sure our efforts are not in vain is to make sure that you are carrying that same feral altruism and excitement about this community into the way you play your game and the way you interact with your chapter and your community. And this also extends into online spaces. Please be nice. I know things have been absolutely frustrating in the past. They probably will be in the future, and you are allowed to be frustrated. You are allowed to disagree with people. You are allowed to, get in quarrels, but don't do so without empathy for the other person, or empathy for the fact that we are all here because we all love this game and all want to see it succeed. Don't make me get the Brew Squad. Don't make me do it. I will. I really will. But yeah, so just be nice everywhere, or try to be welcoming. You get it. We can do this. The most tangible way in terms of practical goods you can help us out is to share your Refuge experience with us in the form of stuff. So in that form we sent out earlier, and we will make it more publicly accessible as well, so that if you lose it in this chat, it'll still be somewhere you can get it. Event photos, not all 300 from the event, but the 20 best ones. Highlighting your crafts work or your costuming, showing off what you've done there. If you have some fun text RP moments, that could be a fun thing for us to highlight. LARP stories. Informatics, like if you have, or rules explainers, like if you have like someone from SLC sent us at one point a like diagram they drew, or like an acronym they have of like how they remember the order of like damage calls and effects and things, and it was great. So if you have stuff like that that you use in your time, share it with us. Memes, if you make memes about an event, about the community, about other characters, memes, send them to us. We're going to be making plenty of our own, but if you're already making them and you don't mind us using them too, use that form, send it to us, and we'll have fun with them. Anything you can think of really that you think would promote well on social media, or in our discords and on our community, by helping do that sourcing part of our job. It means all we need to worry about is like editing and making it look nice and presenting it. Like it takes a little bit of that out, and obviously we're going to source as much as we can. We as a team all have like, oh, we want to source this person for their crafting, and we know these are the photographers in these chapters, we'll definitely talk to them. Like we're going to be doing that legwork too, but like also if you help, it makes our job easier, and we really would appreciate that effort. And last but not least, engage with our content. So like we're gonna start getting our socials alive, and I know not everyone here is on social media, and that's fine. But if you are, the annoying like smash that subscribe button and ring that bell, like do all those things. And I know it feels silly, but like it actually, like the metrics of that does make a difference in algorithms and who and how we get seen, and who gets recommended to us. So the more people we have leaving comments on things, and reacting to things, and doing the sort of calls to action for engagement that social media teams usually ask for, it makes a foundational difference in whether our content gets promoted or not. So yeah, no, be nice, send us stuff, and smash that subscribe button. Any questions?
Yeah, we had one there. Haley asked if there will be a process for gathering player consent for any pictures being posted to social media.
Yes, that's a fantastic question. Right now in the form, there is a button that you have to pick that you have to put down your name. B, in the form right now. I put this in there right now to get things out quick, but we will refine it further. But basically, there's a required checkbox you have to hit that says either you are the creator of this media and you consent to its use, or you have attained explicit permission from the creator of this media for its use in this way. We can also follow up with every submission we get of like, hey, who is in this photo, and double check it as well. But if you are submitting in there, you should not submit content that you did not get permission to submit. That is if I say anything this, please remember that. Part of this onus is going to be on the community. We will do some double checking and making sure that it's good, but like also don't submit things you don't have permission in order to submit. Please and thank you. Cool. And also, yeah, I love the good sunglasses, KP. 10 out of 10. We love it. Okay. Thank you for that question. We got any others? I'm all bouncy.
Yes, you are in fact in the Matrix. Yeah. KP.
I'm all bouncy. I got the public speaking juice.
It's great.
I forgot I could talk. Power. Let's go.
Also, Sarissa said something great in chat that I'm going to surface here. Ask people, or like, review your chapter's policy on photos and photo taking. In Portland and in Washington, the general consensus is you have to get permission to get a group of a photo, or like, if you aren't interested in being in photos, you let the photographers know ahead of time so that they can kind of shoot around you. So this is also just a chapter wide. Like if you don't want to be in something, make sure that the photographer knows, and again, we'll do everything we can in our best faith possible. And if a hiccup happens, we'll take it down immediately, and we'll adjust our process to account for that. So yeah. Anything else? I'll just wiggle. 15, 20 seconds or so. I'll seed wiggling so that KP and Barb and the amazing regionals team can have their promo bit.
Wow, y'all, can y'all hear me? Sorry, my computer's...
Hi, Kendall.
Hi. Something I just wanted to kind of like throw out there as well is that kind of like Jen was said, all this stuff is fluid. It's all stuff we're still working on. There's always room for improvement. So like if there's something that you want to see that we didn't think of, or like recommendations that you have or things along those lines, please let us know. We're like something that I'm really kind of passionate about is just like initiatives, things that like people want to see, and trying to make them happen. So if there's anything that for you that we have like that we haven't mentioned, or that you're like that might be a cool thing, or if you have things that are geared towards new players, which is also something that I'm super passionate about, is providing resources to new players, please let us know. We really want to hear about it. Y'all are great.
I think I got a question.
All right. Oh, you have a question?
If somebody wanted to reach out to the promotional committee with any questions or ideas they had or feedback, how would they do that?
Yes. At the very last slide, and I'll put it in chat here as well, there is RPC at refugelarp.org. There's also a Gmail account, but we're trying to phase that out now that the two are connected, and this one should work now forever in perpetuity. So if you want to reach out to anyone on promotions, that is the email to do it. I also basically live on Discord, which may or may not be a problem. That you can decide that for yourself. So if you ever have questions, you can always reach out to me on my account, and I will either take your question then, or tell you when I can get back to you. Yeah. All right, who's excited?
I am. That's for sure.
It's so hard with the chat of just like, there's no like I am excited button. But okay, thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna go ahead and stop being perceived. As mentioned earlier, RPC at RPC at refugelarp.org. If you have questions, you know where to find me. And everyone tagged RPC on Nationals is also able to get a hold of you. And yeah, let's have fun.
Thank you, Jen.
All right, I'm inviting up people I see, but I may be missing people, so let me know if you do not get an invite.
Be ready.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Megan, you there? Oh, there we go.
I'm definitely here. I don't look nearly as good as these other two, though.
Whoa, we have another edition of the Sunglasses Crew.
Yes, we do.
I hope that my indoor glasses suffice.
You look beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Ray, do you want to kick it off?
Sure. We've got some copy. All across the realms of refuge, bees have been abuzz with news. You might have heard one buzzing in your ear with their rallying cry, "Visit the Bumbleverse! Your dream vacation is only a hop, skip, and a bumble away." Some report bees attempting to sell them travel insurance. Others say they hear buzzing, feel a little woozy, and then suddenly have a cup of tea in their hands. Others still have heard bees describe the Bumbleverse with a variety of adjectives: idyllic, bumbly, and of course, extremely structurally sound and up to code. Regardless of details, every messenger bee agrees on one thing. They want you to visit the Bumbleverse yesterday. Uh, we, as the team for Refuge, and we're excited to see you all at the Boise Portland Refuge Nationals event, the title of which is Across the Bumbleverse: The Pirate, the Prince, and the Paradox. Regionals will be held on August 30th through September 2nd at Camp Arrowhead in Stevenson, Washington. A few of you may remember the Bumbleverse from the one-off online event that took place a few years ago. Our event will be taking place in the same setting, and while there will be some familiar faces amongst the NPCs for those who attended the previous Bumbleverse event, there will be plenty of new content and new faces, such that a familiarity with the setting will not be at all necessary for anyone to enjoy the game. We also have some forms. If one of my friends here wants to share links to some of the forms. First of all, we're still accepting submissions from those who are interested in taking on plot lieutenant positions. Lieutenants are roughly our equivalent to NPC guilds. You'll get more information. You'll be brought into our little Discord sooner. If you're up to it, you will be helping us get together props and materials pre-event, and then during event, lieutenants will be helping us keep everything running, help stat mods and stuff. And in exchange, they get more chapter points, also our undying appreciation, and they'll be trusted with bigger roles throughout the event, generally. The plot lieutenant interest form will close on May 31st, last day of the month. So if you have any interest in helping us run an awesome game, be sure to submit that soon. We also have the important memory form. If a character that you played in the past has had like a really cool memory that you wish more people knew about in games so they could talk about it, this is the form for you. It is for any player characters who have existed in Refuge or our predecessor games. You don't need to be at PCing them to submit a character's memory. And in fact, like if you're an NPC at regionals or if you're not even attending regionals, you can still submit one of these memories. So it's a perfect chance to, like, if you have a character who died in a really awesome fashion that nobody was there for, you can share your final memories or something. We will be taking these submissions and potentially sharing some of them on a mod at regionals. If you need more details, you can ask questions in the chat, or there's a bit more information in the form, or you can always send us an email. We have our own email address. It's a Gmail one, but it'll work for now. So that's all of the copy we have. To recap, bees are buzzing. They want you to come to the Bumbleverse. You don't need any information about the Bumbleverse before showing up to the event. We're still looking for lieutenants, and now we want your memories. We'll see you this summer in Across the Bumbleverse: The Pirate, the Prince, and the Paradox.
Does anybody want to give a quick rundown on what the Bumbleverse actually is, or do we want to save that for game?
I can give a little bit of like
Just high level.
common knowledge. Common knowledge that you may have heard from someone. It is a realm that some people helped. It was a realm that was made by some fae as like a lifeboat sort of thing. And when last it showed up, it was pulling in a whole bunch of stuff from different realms and kind of like a really massive crossover event. And it has been continuing to bumble around since then. There's a tea house in it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's had some
It's
renovations.
also it's very structurally sound.
That's the most important thing, is
Up to
very
code. You're
structurally
good.
up
Nothing.
to code.
They've done a
Nothing
lot
bad's
of
gonna happen in this realm, for sure.
they've done a lot of really good renovations.
We have 6
to make
people.
it a prime destination for your vacation pleasure.
Mm-hmm. And like we have 6 people on this plot team, so we can absolutely make sure nothing bad's gonna happen.
Do we want to read the questions? I can read some questions.
And in fact, Jen, you should know that there will be information released about that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to say the answer it?
Oh. What is the OSHA evaluation for the Bumbleverse? You'll get to see that in game potentially.
Yeah.
Ooh, Andy has a good question. I think the answer is no.
Let's say the
Barb,
question.
do you have any idea?
Will we be able to blanket regionals with any chapter CP? At this time, no. We're trying to set it up so that we can blanket them with both Boise and Portland, but we haven't really done a whole lot of legwork on that yet. Currently, I think it's a Portland game, so if you have Portland chapter points, like from, I don't know, the donation drive that's going right now. Was my pause long
Or
enough?
if you
Anyway.
want to scoop up some
Or if you wanted
Portland
to-
chapter points
Yeah, if you could
with
get
the donation
chapter
drive
points.
that's going on right now.
You can participate in the donation drive right now, 10 to 1, Boise and Portland chapter points through the end of the month. After the end of the month, the donation drives will split, and you will not be able to get both chapters points anymore. So you only have till the end of the month to get the chapter points for both chapters at the time. Excuse me. But no, I don't think you're going to be able to blanket regional with any chapter points, but I will confirm that and let y'all know. That'll require some directors chatting. All right. Hey, regionals team, what's your fundraiser right now? What's your fundraiser at right now? What's the cool things you can get by hitting your next goal? Last I calculated, and I have not updated in the last couple of minutes, or at least the last couple of days, we were just about $4,000. Hitting our goal is going to take me about 30 seconds to get there. Give me just a second while I talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But there, we have a bunch of really cool goals that we get. There's some like chapter points you can get, obviously. But in addition to chapter points, you can get. We're raffling off different types, some LCS magic items from both Refuge Portland and Refuge Boise. We're raffling off some 100-point Refuge point items from Refuge. Thanks to Refuge Portland and Refuge Boise and a couple of PCs who are there. We're also doing a bunch of other stuff. Here we go. Path prizes. And of course it's loading. Sorry. At $4,000, we're getting to hit the next 100 Refuge point magic item. $4,500, we get a 20 writ LCS magic item from Boise. At $5,000, we'll be shaving my partner, Brian Johnson's beard completely off. And I'll film it.
Hashtag shave my boyfriend's beard.
Shave it. Let's shave it. It's going to be amazing. I'll film it.
Make it happen.
And we can maybe also film our child's reaction to it as he screams and cries and does not recognize my husband for a couple of days. Also at $5,000, we will have pins for everyone who donates $50 or more. So if you donated $40 and want to throw in that extra $10 to get that pin, if we get to $5,000, that'd be lovely. And you can see all of this and more in the announcement that will be coming out in the next couple of days when I update you on the actual grand total that we have as of today or tomorrow or something whenever I get to it. I was going to try and get to it today and I got distracted by other things. So, we do have an option for a question and answer session with the Refuge Boise and Refuge Portland directors and lanyards for anyone who donates $100 or more coming up. That's at $7,500. And then at $1,000, we're going to have some sponsor of Refuge Portland, Refuge Boise Regionals 2024 water bottles for 5 lucky recipients. Ooh, fancy. Collectible water bottles. And all of these will be, in addition, every $500 you get another 100 refuge point magic item or 20 writ LCS item added to the raffle list. Raffles will be taking place in June, so you got that. All right, what did I miss? Anyone? Oh yeah, there's the
I don't
announcement.
think there was something.
Let's see here. Catching up. Yes, 100 Refuge Point magic items. Those are acceptable in any chapter. They are universal magic items. So they are acceptable in any chapter, no matter the writ limits, no matter nothing. They can be accepted. Except chapters that are specifically disallowing magic items. I think Thevrin is one of them. So Portland has a sub-campaign Thevrin. That's our low-level campaign that I think is refusing magic items that are not created inside that chapter, and et cetera, et cetera. They're still working on the details, but in the event that that is the case, we will not be accepting them into Thevrin, but they will be accepted other places. So, you get. Yeah. Yes, stay tuned, please. Thevrin's still working on those details. All right. Any other questions about regionals?
I can confirm the tea will probably be both literal and metaphorical.
Oh, it's
For the people
literal.
who are
I
talking
am
about
bringing literal tea.
Yeah, but there will probably also be metaphorical tea.
Probably not.
The
Oh,
more
that too.
of you are interested in sharing memories, the more metaphorical tea there will be. But there will also definitely be lots of literal tea.
Also, look out for like bees in your chapters that might just show up and try and take you away to your vacation realm.
You do not need to be attending the event to share memories.
Yeah.
Good question.
These bees were
there's
not created by a maniacal, like, mad scientist. That's the difference for Kendall, who asked.
All right. Will is asking, what is the was the contact for sharing memories? Can we relink that?
Yeah, I got it.
Replied to it.
Lauren already got it.
Oh, great. Okay. What is the
Lauren's ahead
regionals?
of everyone.
What is the regionals policy about LCS items from other campaigns? Is there a limit? Yes, there will be a limit. I'm not quite entirely sure what that is yet, but we will talk to people and get in touch when we have an update about the cost of event and all the event attending details. We should have all that information in it, if it's not already in the FAQ, which I don't think it is. So, yeah, we'll have that information out. My goal is to have that out in early June, but I'm getting surgery in early June, so it might be late June. We'll see. If it gets out before my surgery, great. If not, it'll be in late June. All right. Karos. You can traumatize without even being there. You can.
I think also we should shout out our head of plot and our other members who aren't here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So our head of plot is Theo, who is doing fantastic in leading us and getting us through each meeting. I feel like we're progressing really well, and they are amazing. I love them.
Mhm.
I miss them. I wish they were here right now. But
Yeah.
they're at work, so they couldn't be here. But yeah, they're fantastic. Also representing Boise with me is Isaac Lawrenson, who did some amazing fights that you might remember from nationals, like Nightmare, and I don't know. He famously like writes a lot of weird trauma, like psychedelic mods in Boise. So he's okay, I guess. I wish he was here, but like he's aight.
Mhm.
We like him.
Let's see. Who else are we missing? Is that
That's
it?
it.
Just
That's
us
it.
I
two?
think that's it.
That's
Okay,
it.
it just feels like for some reason we have a huge team, but I guess.
Oh, here's a question. Could you submit a memory for an NPC that you played?
I don't have any objections with it.
Make sure your plot team's
I'd
okay with it.
say it's fine that's what I was gonna say, as
Yeah.
long as the plot team is fine with it.
And also, if you submit a memory, we are not promising that it will be shared.
But it might be.
But it might
And
be.
also, we're not promising that you are safe from any consequences of other people hearing that memory. So, like,
Yeah,
if the
if
memory
you
names names and also has those names doing necromancy, maybe don't share it unless all of the people involved aren't around anymore. You know?
It
Or
is
two,
completely
or the
immune
drama.
from. It is completely immune from plot consequences. It is not immune from other characters seeing the memory consequences.
Yeah, inside the form, it'll detail that a little bit, like what it means at a game,
Mm-hmm.
what it means in game, and so on. So, yeah, think about it before you do it, I guess. But it's gonna be fun.
What could possibly go wrong? All sorts of things. What won't possibly go wrong? I make no promises.
Expect.
Sorry.
That's what won't
Absolutely
go wrong.
nothing is going to go wrong.
Yep.
Probably.
Everything is great here. We really would love to have you treat yourself to a nice vacation. Those adventures, you work really hard, and you deserve a nice break.
I forgot about the
Yeah, we're gonna have
parents.
activities like yoga, nature walks, totally safe. It's gonna be so much fun.
No random monster has ever just popped out of nowhere on a nature walk. It's
Not
never
ever, not
happened
once.
before. Not once, not ever.
Yes, relaxing by the beach with milkshakes.
That's the spirit.
Yeah. For those of you who don't recall, regionals will take place at Camp Arrowhead August 30th through September 2nd. It is a 3-day over Memorial Day weekend. Welcome any and all visitors. If you want to hop into the Refuge, Portland will shortly have a channel for anybody who wants to start ride sharing questions and things like that from whatever. If you want to fly in and we pick you up at the airport on our way out of town, kind of a thing, I'm happy to pick up some folk. And I'm sure other people are too. Portland is the closest airport. PDX is the closest airport. It's actually just about an hour away from PDX, so it's not super long. Yeah, it's a site. It's gonna be a site we've never used before that we're really excited about. Excited about. Oh my god, all the biggie puns are killing me. Now I'm making my own. Anyway, yeah, so we can't wait to see y'all there. Hopefully y'all can join us. And I think that wraps us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Corin, any last words?
I did want to say, no, Andy, I have not been ignoring your question from earlier. For those who missed it, Andy had asked if, for the 106 changes to the provisional rulebook changes about MIs and items that are no longer available, such as transfer catalysts, enchanted quiver scrolls and rituals, workshop writs, scrolls and MIs, and one-shot store abilities. When is there going to be a permanent conversion process? There isn't currently one nationally. I believe Barb can back me up or correct me on this, that we are working towards the next version of the rule set, or at least getting like playtests out primarily, and that getting the permanent conversions for those has been slated for when we have an official rulebook update after those playtests are done.
That is what I understand as well. So it looks like Sam is conferring or concurring. Um, yeah, sorry I missed the question. Um, yeah, I think we're mostly just handling it but chapter by chapter until then. So
Yeah, Kendall, there is an option for chapters to offer conversions locally. That's within their purview. And I know that some of these things, like you are able to use for the enchanted quiver rituals, there is a counts as for those to use as infinite quiver or storm quiver from one of the transition plans, but not anything for the workshops or the enchanted quiver ritual scrolls. The transfer enchantment catalysts. I'll look into those. I'll post something up in rules discussion later once I've hunted down specifics. But does that answer your question for now, at least, even if it's not ideal? All right. Anybody else, any questions? All right. Well, I should maybe give somebody a chance. Do you guys know how awesome you are? Do we? Everybody?
I mean, do you see these sunglasses?
I mean, yeah, KP's awesome.
I mean, I know how all
Royce
y'all
is
are.
there.
Yeah. I love you guys. You're all awesome.
Yeah.
Doing what we can here.
Except for one of you, and you know who you are.
Oh, yeah,
You're the
that's
best.
Alphonse Muha at Art Nouveau. For Andy's question about what my wall art is, the artist for my wall art is. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll get this up to YouTube sometime in the next week or two.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody.
Have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.